Okay, so this is going to be part two of the video that I just made maybe 20 minutes ago. And today is February the 13th. It's a Thursday, 2025. And when I left off, I was talking to black prisoners who have been released, but still find themselves being discriminated against and marginalized by labor laws in the country of America. See, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, correct? So this is what I found out when I came down here to Memphis. See, in California, we don't even have to worry about this kind of stuff, right? Because felons, we really don't get discriminated against in most job fields in California. But once I came down here to Memphis, what I realized is that America is still America. I had no idea that I would not, let me repeat, that I would not be able to get a job down here in Memphis. That they was going to force me vociferously to get work on my own, right? We should not even be having this conversation because in the state of California, we have banned the box. They don't care if they don't care if you have a felony in California, right? But we get down here to Memphis, all of a sudden, they're going to run a CIA background check on a person that's just trying to get a job inside of a warehouse, right? So I'm going to sacrifice myself like Jesus Christ and Martin Luther King. I'm going to throw myself on the cross. I'm going to get hung so the next person can't go through this. So I've been working on a business plan for like the last month. And the city of Memphis, the county of Shelby County, you've made me very, 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 very angry because now I know why so many black men down here in Memphis have problems with finding labor. I know why now. I didn't know when I came back down here in 2020, right? I didn't know why there was so many black men down here in the city of Memphis that could not get jobs. I know why now. So I've been working on a plan for the city of Memphis. See, we have a young mayor down here. His name is Paul Young. He is 11 years my junior, right? So I'm 51, I'll be 52, right? So, but forget all that, right? So let me say this one time. For all you brothers that got out of prison, don't be ashamed. You was investigated. You were charged. You had to go through the judicial process. You had to plead not guilty or guilty. You were either found not guilty or guilty through a jury. If you pled guilty on your own, you didn't make it to the jury. And then you were sentenced to either probation or state or federal time inside of a correctional facility. So in your mind, you thought you paid your dues to society, right? Not. You know what's going to happen? So you did all that time, whether you did 6 months or 40 years. You come back out here into society. And society is set up in a way where, we come from America, right? So there's always discriminatory laws inside this country. We know that, right? So we come back out here into society, right? And we think that since we did our time, that our punishment for committing what they call a crime was over with, right? Oh no, they never told us that it was going to be a lifetime punishment. So we come out here thinking we did our time and we paid our quote unquote debt to society and it was going to all be over with, right? Not. See, if you was in a state like maybe California or something like that, then yeah, maybe your debt was over. But when you come down here into the state of Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, you will forever be labeled. I've been in Tennessee. Well, I was born in Tennessee, of course. I was born in 1973 in a small town called Trenton, Tennessee, right? And then in 1987, I went to the Bay Area, San Francisco. When I got to San Francisco, we not even gonna go to that. But so I've been working on a project for all the brothers in Memphis, and y'all gonna have to stand behind me. Oh shit. Is that the Rocco score? My dog, he bit me right. Well, he didn't bite me, but we was wrestling one day. You know, me and Rocco, we like to wrestle in this little tooth. He clipped me right there. So anyway, let me get back to the business, right? So, you never could have told me that in the year of 2025, that the state of Tennessee, because see, in California, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. They need labor in California. You never could have told me that in 2025 in the state of Tennessee that I could not get a job because I was an ex-felon. But you know what? You give all these illegal immigrants and migrants jobs and put them up in plush hotels. Man, this is why the American people are inflamed. They are outraged, right? So I've been working on a project for the brothers of Tennessee, of course, because I'm in Tennessee. I was born in Tennessee. My allegiance is to the brothers of Tennessee, right? So I've been working on this project, and this project is I'm trying to establish a construction training program for the city of Memphis, Tennessee, and the county of Shelby County. So I'm just going to share with you some of my notes, right? Man, okay, so look, this particular business plan that I'm working on, it was modeled after the city that I'm from, San Francisco, right? And it is a pre-apprenticeship construction training program. So I'm just going to read to you the executive summary that I brought up. So just bear with me. Some of this will not apply to you, but I'm telling you, brothers, this only the criminals. I don't care about the people that went to college. I don't care about the people that don't have a felony or misdemeanor charge. Only the people who are being discriminated against in the state of Tennessee because they have criminal backgrounds, right? We shouldn't even be talking about this right here because they don't talk about this when it comes to the migrants, right? Okay, so you can get somebody, man, that come from another country, and how you gonna run a background check on them? But they working. But you take my social security number and you run a background check on me, and I can't work because it comes up in my background that I gotta. This is why the American people are outraged, right? They outraged. Okay, so this is just my executive summary, and you tell me what you think. I say, as the infrastructure of Memphis undergoes new construction, redevelopment, and maintenance, a primary objective of Operation Reconstruct. See, Operation Reconstruct is a nonprofit program that I'm starting down here in Memphis. A primary objective of Operation Reconstruct is to foster diversification within the local construction workforce by providing pre-apprenticeship training program where graduates will receive certification in multiple fields of the construction industry. Operation Reconstruct is modeled after City Build of San Francisco, an internationally recognized pre-apprenticeship program geared toward disadvantaged communities that are underrepresented in the construction industry. Did they not kick the blacks up out of the construction industry? Yes, they did. They kicked the blacks out of the construction industry. Nothing is absolute. You might find a black here, there, but overwhelmingly, the black construction force, the labor force that used to represent the construction industry within the United States, they kicked us out. But we're not going to whine, right? Oh, no, we don't whine and we don't beg. Never. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to just go back a little. Operation Reconstruct is modeled after City Build of San Francisco, an internationally recognized pre-apprenticeship program geared towards disadvantage, because at this point, the black community is disadvantaged because they're going to hire that illegal immigrant before they hire us, right? Disadvantaged. Let me get back to where I was at. Disadvantaged communities that are underrepresented in the construction industry. Construction is a multifaceted industry science which utilizes a broad range of skilled vocational trainings. Operation Reconstruct, that's what I'm creating. As a certification program, brings basic training techniques and theories under one roof. Such an approach will not only facilitate the development of a skilled labor force, but will allow graduates to utilize the latest theorems and blueprint technologies to engineer, build, and maintain local, county, and regional work projects. With the successful implementation of Operation Reconstruct, the City of Memphis, along with partner organizations, can begin to plug the gaps of manpower shortages. Now, why would I say manpower shortages? You know why I say manpower shortages? Because the illegal immigrant, he's being targeted by ICE. All you brothers who are entrepreneurs, not the laborers, all you brothers who are entrepreneurs, there is right now. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who comes along with an idea because he is trying to solve a problem, right? The illegal immigrants are out. The American ruling class cut their throats. Okay, so of all the executive orders that Donald Trump signed, not one judge in the continental United States and its ruling territories have pushed back. So the illegal immigrants are out, right? They are out. They got to go. The American people has spoken, and the ruling class has spoken. There's no land or law in the country that is going to intervene with their mass deportation. Right? Now, birthright citizenship, that's going to be challenged in the Supreme Court. We're not going to discuss that right here. But as far as Donald Trump signing the executive order to mass deport illegal aliens, it is solidified like concrete and steel. Nothing will stop that mass deportation. There will be no president, Democrat or Republican, that will come in and overturn that executive order. 4 years from now or 30 years from now, they're all going to go. Right? So that leaves Americans, whether you are an ethnic black, an ethnic white man. An ethnic white man, we talk about ethnic whites, we're talking about the colonial invaders, or an ethnic Native American, right? No one has the right or the glory to claim ethnicity except three particular groups. Native American, first of all, the colonial invader from Europe or where he was from, and the slaves and offsprings of Africans. No one has the right to claim that, right? I don't care where you are from. Right now, the political climate in America, The ruling class says that the immigrant from Mexico, and they really are concentrating on the immigrants from Mexico, Central and South America, you got to go. And Africa, you got to go, right? And we're going to talk about the Africans in a minute. So I talked about the Africans in the first episode, right? We'll get to them. So anyway, let me get back to this, right? So, all of the brothers who went to prison, you come out here, you're homeless, you can't find a job, you know, you got the Black Sisterhood, you know, they claim to be the most educated people on the planet, which they are not. The only thing we got to do is just look at their science scores and math scores, and we'll send their ass in the hiding, right? But anyway, this is not for them. This is for people like myself. People who serve time within any Department of Corrections within the continental United States. This is our time to shine. We ain't begging for nothing, right? We ain't asking for nothing because we already been proven and tested our toughness, right? All these little black dudes, man, that like to talk shit about us. They went to college, you know, they got their little meaningless degrees. Oh, I got a law degree. Shit don't mean nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I feel so passionate about this topic here, it was like maybe 2 months ago. I talked to a brother. He was in the gym. And we was talking about construction, right? He's a middle class Negro. You know what that, man, you know what Cuz told me, man? Cuz like, man, well, you know, man, black men, we ain't going back into construction. I just scratched my head like, what? You ain't going back into construction? He said, yeah, man, we don't do construction no more. The black middle class men don't do construction no more. But the black underclass, like myself, oh yeah, we'll happily do construction. You know why? Because the construction industry in the United States of America is almost worth $2 trillion. Yeah. You don't do construction, right? Yeah, because you know why? Because you're a part of the black underclass or the black middle class, whatever you like to refer yourself, you're a part of that soft belly. See, people like you can't go to the cotton field. You can't go out there and pick apples. You're not willing to give up your Mercedes. You ain't willing to give up that white woman that you got, but I am. I don't care about none of that. Right now, what we care about, real black men, is we care about building infrastructure. So the dude at the gym told me, and he was in a real estate, something like that, you know, where he sit behind a desk and he plugging his numbers and all this old kind of stuff, right? You know, and you know, they hire cheap labor from the Hispanic force. So those people got to go out there and they have to build, right? But you got these soft dudes that sit up, the blacks. We ain't talking about nobody but the black men. This is why don't nobody respect African-American black men, right? They don't respect y'all. And I'm telling you right now, they don't respect y'all. They gonna respect a person like me though, because man, I ain't got nothing to lose. But anyway, so this dude, man, we in the gym in the locker room. So we having a conversation, and I say, hey man, the construction industry is about to open up. He said, oh man, we ain't going back to construction. I said, why? He said, man, we don't do that kind of work no more. Man, dude, don't you know that a person, dude, I can't get a job. Not in Tennessee. I will happily go out there and pick cotton, grapes. I don't care nothing about none of that, right? I'll go out there, man. So the myth that the American black man won't go out there to that field is a straight narrative lie. You got people like myself that'll go out there. But let me get back, right? So even my dad told me, I couldn't believe me that my dad told me, right? I said, hey, man, We ain't going back to the construction industry. Now, mind you, my dad grew up in the projects. He's from Trenton, Tennessee. He grew up in the projects. He rose from the projects, went to the military and worked for Goodyear and eventually landed. You know, he went to college and he graduated as an accountant. He's a part of the United States government, right? That's how he retired. Army Corps of Engineers. My dad told me, I can believe my dad told me this. He said, man, we ain't going back to that kind of stuff. I'm looking at myself, what? See, this is the narrative that they like to sell to the world. But let me tell you one thing, man. Let me tell you one thing about people like myself and other black men like myself. We'll get out there in them fields. We'll pick that motherfucking cotton. We'll pick them grapes. We're going to do everything we got to do in order to survive. So if there is anyone on if there's anyone on the planet Earth that tells us, black men of America, right? I can't speak for the African that comes to America and he's so mesmerized by the colonial culture, the cultural colonialism that, man, I'm gonna tell you something about people like us, right? Black men from America who can trace their ancestry back to 1916, Jamestown, Virginia. We ain't too good to get out there, man. We'll get out there, we'll pick your cotton, we'll pick your apples, we'll do all that. And for the brothers, man, that thought that you was gonna get a second chance in America, particularly in the southern states, you're not gonna get no second chance. You will forever be labeled a felon, a criminal. They're gonna get that immigrant that broke the law to get over here, right? Let's not forget, they broke the law to get here. And then they try to justify talking about they were running away from oppression. They being targeted by their governments, so they got to file for political asylum right here in America, right? Okay, so first of all, man, it ain't not a group of people on a planet Earth. I don't care where you can. It's only two places that you can really go. That on paper, that blacks were targeted: United States or South Africa. Yeah, South Africa, right? But we know that blacks, we've been targeted all over the planet, and we are not discounting the oppression and the terrorism waged by our people from state governments. But it's only two places: the United States of America and South Africa. For the black population, I will never forget, I was younger, man, and I saw them people in South Africa. Boy, they had a machine. It was thousands of them. Whoa, whoa. But they'll tell you, man, a lot of their tactics came from black America. But let's not go off onto a tangent, right? Let's not go off onto a tangent. For the people who came out of prison in America, the blacks, right? And just not only us, but whoever gonna get behind us. We recognize our value, and we have to change the laws in this country. You have a president, no fault of his own, because he was targeted too. No fault of his own. You have a president that was convicted of 34 felony counts in a court of law, federal court of law in the United States. This man is allowed to sit in the highest office of the United States government. You can sit no higher than the president of the United States. This man, Donald Trump, he has oversight and access to the most sensitive intelligence reports of the United States government. He has the ability to organize armies, dispatch armies, carry out assassinations, negotiate with President Putin, who is my president. You know, President Putin, my president, man. I don't claim no president except President Putin and Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso as his assistant, right? And when I say assistant, I'm talking about, man, look, I'm down with Ibrahim Traore. There are a couple of presidents, political representatives I take a bullet for. First of all, I'm taking a bullet for President Putin. Ain't no question. I'm taking a bullet for Xi Jinping. Ain't no question. I'm taking a bullet for Kim Il-jung. Ain't no question. In Africa, I am taking a bullet from Ibrahim Traore and the other presidents and representatives of the Sahel Alliance. Ain't no question. Right outside of that, you're on your own. You're on your own, right? But for the men in prison or who were in prison that came out in America, man, this is our time. The one industry that we have to depend on, that we have to get back into, that we have to take over is the American construction industry. We don't care about what these people say about, man, he's an ex-felon. Man, no. Okay, so we got the month of August coming up, 2025. See, in August of 2025, we call it Black August, right? Black August is the authentic month for commemoration and celebration of Black America or New Africa, whatever you want to refer to us as. Black August, right here in America, man. We got it coming up, right? We have to organize now. We have to organize now. So there are two dates particularly that we need to come out on. These are going to be peaceful protests, none of that stuff, but the world need to hear our voice. August the 7th, Jonathan Jackson, who is the brother of George Jackson, was assassinated in Marin County, California, on August the 7th, 1970. His brother, George Jackson, who is the brainchild of the Black prison movement. George Jackson is the brainchild of the Black prison movement in this country, right? Even though there were a lot of other people and elements involved in the Black prison movement in this country, George Jackson will forever, unless you did what he did, George Jackson will forever be the architect of the Black prison movement in this country, man. He was murdered by the state on August the 21st, 1971. See, the Jackson family, who is from Chicago, they had to suffer the death of Jonathan on August the 7th, 1970. The younger brother of George. And then on August the 21st, 1971, George Jackson himself was murdered by the state. So our holiday, our commemoration is Black August. It starts on the 1st and it runs all the way through August the 31st. And we can tell you on each date of that month. See, first of all, a lot of people, they don't know, man, that Jamestown, Virginia, that first ship with 16 slaves slaves or indentured servitudes, they arrived in Jamestown, Virginia in August. That's where the birth of New Africans or African Americans started. We're not saying that there weren't blacks here before. That's not what we're saying, right? But what we are saying is that the colony that called themselves African Americans, FBAs, which I don't use FBAs, I prefer to use ethnic blacks. It started in Jamestown, Virginia, 1619. August is the month. And we can go on and watch rides, Haitian Revolution, the assassination of George and Jonathan Jackson, August. We can go on and on about the importance of August, Black August, right? But, we're not going to do that here. But what I'm going to say, and let me get back to the business, right? If you came out of prison and you thought you were coming back to a better life, in states like maybe, California, I don't know how New York go, but I'm sure that New York is maybe similar to California, that we get a better break in New York. But in Tennessee, the southern states, we don't get no break. So down here, we got to march. We got to march down here in Tennessee, man. We got to march in Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, I don't know about West Virginia, you know what I'm saying? All that's the South, Florida, all that stuff is the South, man. But from this day forward, we ain't let nobody push us out. As the illegal migrants get pushed out, it is a business opportunity for black men and women who want to improve the conditions. Okay, who want to improve the conditions of their community, but who also want to make buku billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? That's what we're about, man. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but there are a lot of people from the black middle class. They got these little fake ass degrees that don't mean nothing, right? I got these social media platforms where they have to bump their chops and talk about people like us as if we don't matter. Huh? As if we don't matter, right? Let them talk. Our actions show what we are about. Remember, it was you that sat in that prison cell for 5, 10 years. Man, you done read way more books than them people in college classes. Man, them people are stupid. They still voting Democrat and Republican. They didn't even have the heart to set it out, right? For all of the so-called intelligence that they got, they ain't even had they don't even have the wherewithal to organize their own political lobbies. Now, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. Man, have you seen how many of these coon-ass Negroes, man, that's on the internet right now talking about, I no longer support the Democratic Party. I'll go to the, man, come on, man. Straight clowns, dude. They straight clowns. But I'm going to end this video right now. I just wanted to tell black men who were in the belly of the beast in Babylon, up under, the jurisdiction of the state, convicted, federal or local. Man, we got this, man. Don't let nobody tell you other. The construction trade is where we need to go. There are billions and billions and billions of dollars inside the construction trade. Don't worry about getting no law degrees, none of that. We got to go back to construction because we can build stuff in America and we can build stuff all over the world if we learn the trades. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this video. Like, subscribe to the channel. Criticism or positive criticism, I don't care, man. Y'all just, man, got to subscribe to the channel, man. That's it, and that's all.